every horoscope video, I make it a point to tell all of my viewers that your thoughts, actions, deeds, choices, and free will shape your outcome, destiny, and everything that occurs within your life. And this is a conversation that I've brought up before, but it was a long, long time ago. Your free will, your power, your divinity, your sovereignty is something that you should not assume will guarantee an outcome if you give it away. And that has been a big challenge I've noticed with a lot of people that have been coming to me after a time, maybe following a certain reader, or maybe something that they've heard in town, a strange message that they got from a fatalist astrologer. A lot of people who are new, or a lot of people who might be in the process of doing some serious healing and introspection, kind of fall into one of these two camps. Everything has been predicted to be bad or catastrophic, and therefore my life is over. Or it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter whether or not I grow or I evolve or change my behavior or match the situation or do my best, because it's already been guaranteed. And I know that might sound kind of strange, right? I'm aware of the irony of me saying something like that and being somebody who has been doing horoscopes on YouTube for nearly 8 years. But in my horoscopes, I am always giving people advice on how to approach the situations that present. Because when you understand that these are readings that are working like a weather or a traffic report, you know what? If it's raining, I'll tell you to bring an umbrella. If there is a traffic jam, I'll tell you to choose a different road. If a road is not getting you where you want to go, I'm going to tell you where the other road is. When it comes to readings, the best approach to predictive readings is to understand that tarot, astrology, oracle, prophecy in general gets you to the moment, whatever that moment may be. Whether that moment is a task, a meeting, the beginning of a new relationship possibility, but what you do and what is going on in that moment is yours. And of course, just as you have free will, all persons involved in any situation where you have multiple souls and multiple wills all have free will as well. So what is going on in that moment, whether it's a meeting or a date or some kind of task that we are all trying to get to work on together, it's important to keep in mind what the parameters of everyone's intentions for that situation are and what you are dealing with, right? When it comes to situations where we are dealing with multiple free wills, it's also important to maybe get a read on what is going on with regards to what the other people in the situation are doing and what they might want. Because you have to, of course, when you're in that moment, work with what you have, but also decide whether you can or will work with what others are bringing to the table. And the same thing can apply to knowing what is being brought to the table with regards to, say, anyone else coming in, right? In a meeting, in an interview, you got to also know how to scope out what you are dealing with environmentally. When it comes to people, you've got to be willing to accept nuance. One of the hardest things I've seen people go through is struggle to get past, whether it's something within themselves, something going on in their own personal journey, or just a really grossly oversimplified message. The 20 teens did a huge disservice to a lot of people who were seeking spiritual guidance and spiritual assistance, because when all of a sudden everyone and their mother who saw a cash cow decided to attach to the idea of making money by telling mother-goose fairy tales, is the person that's reading for you somebody who seems invested in the healthiest and the most prosperous outcome possible for all involved? Does it seem like this reader might be bringing out advice or bringing out ideas or recommendations that might actually be toxic or harmful to a relationship, or behavioral traits and patterns that would create a toxic atmosphere, maybe in the workplace or around the home? Does it seem like this particular reader might be too willing or too able to work with toxic or unhealthy behaviors, or to pander to or empower things that might actually be creating discord? We have all been in situations where readings, whether they be the cards or medium messages or astrological transits, have put us in situations where we have to face parts of ourselves, our own fears, things that we have maybe developed a very sophisticated way of avoiding or covering up. But if you want to get the most out of this process, you will also get the most out of working on your process. And as you step into that, you will realize nothing is set in stone. There may be things that on your journey are supposed to occur for you in this life. And if you want those things to come now versus later, then you will work on that. You will let your divine free will go to work for you. You don't have to sit back and be beholden to any kind of limitation or lack, or maybe even something potentially arduous or threatening that might show up in a reading if something is bringing out tension. And you certainly don't want to sit back and twiddle your thumbs because you got a happy story in a video once and do nothing or change nothing. You want to make sure that you are participating, because that is when you start to see the biggest breakthroughs in your life, and you start to realize, wow, when I interact, when I participate in my own spiritual experience, when I make this a part of my life that is not something I'm dependent on or beholden to, but something that is simply giving me the weather and the traffic so that I may navigate accordingly, I am actually getting a tool that is serving me well. Just a couple of thoughts I wanted to share. I felt very much driven to make this video tonight, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, especially share it with folks that you think might be served well by this message. And of course, if you ever want to get a consultation with me, you can always go on ahead to my website, integrativemysticism.com. Just a couple of thoughts I wanted to share. I felt very much driven to make this video tonight, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, especially share it with folks that you think might be served well by this message. And of course, if you ever want to get a consultation with me, you can always go on ahead to my website, integrativemysticism.com.